I grew my school community to 170 members without a big audience, paid ads, or even selling my soul. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can grow your own school community to get your first 100 members. And I'm also going to go through exactly how I did it in the first place and how you can avoid the same mistakes I made in the past and be able to save you a ton of time, potentially months in progress and work to get your first 100 members based on the experiences I've had. So let's get right into it. So, one of the problems that I faced in trying to grow my community at first was, funnily enough, trying to rely too much on social media as my primary traffic source, specifically with Threads. So Threads was a big platform that I wanted to get into because I liked writing content. I didn't really want to make videos or make the short form reels on Instagram or go on TikTok or anything. So I wanted to try out Threads for a while, and while I thought it was really good at first, I did notice a lot of problems with it. So as you can see here, I have a little over 1,000 followers right now, and it's been a while since I actually posted. But when I was back in my heyday of being on Threads, I used to post a lot, quite often actually. Some posts would get some traction. I would get a good amount of engagement within my posts, and but and even I have a actually had a one viral post that had 416,000 views, which was responsible for actually half of the community members up until I reached 100. So I got about 50 leads from this one post into my community. But the problem with that was I attracted so many unqualified people because my messaging was off. I didn't exactly let people to uh, convert the right people, and I felt like I missed the mark for a lot of the posts I made. Plus, the few followers I got didn't convert into engaged members, even if they seemed a bit qualified. People weren't really interested in going off the platform from what I've noticed. So, like most who would join went inactive after a few days or weeks. A lot of them were ghosts. And so I spent actually 8 months learning social media instead of legitimately growing my community. Even though I grew my community somewhat in the process, I could have done a lot faster in what I'm about to show you. So, if you want a copy of this Google Doc as a reference to how you can grow your school community and learn more about growing it, I'm sharing it in my free school community called Mental Momentum. So, as you can see here, as proof, I have 170 members, helping school communities build focus and boost performance without digital burnout. So, if you are interested, we have quite an engaged community. It's fun, it's awesome. So, feel free to join the community if you are interested in receiving this as well. So, we're going to go through the steps taken and what I ended up doing differently as opposed to what I did in the past to be able to get more qualified people, not just for the numbers' sake, but more qualified, engaged people within my community. So I stopped chasing social media algorithms and focused on Skool itself. So you might have realized that Skool in itself has been an emerging platform that a lot of have people join. Like there are probably tens of millions of users, if not more, each month. New users that are being exposed to Skool, exploring the platform, getting on the discovery page, finding communities that they're interested in, and eventually some of them becoming community owners themselves. So there are a lot of people on the platform, and you can take advantage of this. And I've been able to take advantage of this as well by using Skool networking and also partly Skool discovery. But one of the things I want to touch up on is Skool networking. And I think this is a really powerful starting point for a lot of people to just get on other communities and start engaging with others. So making comments, going on chats, hopping on calls with people, and d- building trust and authority and goodwill on other communities to do that. Um, so I did this exact thing with a community called Synthesizer, which is for educational creators. They want to get paid to change the world. So they have a really strong mission. They have a strong vision for what they want to accomplish. And at this point, it has 30,000 members as of this recording, and they grew. I think per week they grow about 1,000 members plus per week. So they have an amazing, uh, they have amazing conversion rates. I think from what I've talked with Aiden Labresh, one of the hosts of Synthesizer, and Andrew Kirby. So Andrew Kirby, he's grown his YouTube uh, to 600,000 subscribers. He has strong proof and everything. They said their conversion rate is close to 40% in this community, and it's free. So I took advantage of that by uh, being superbly engaged within this community itself. And as you can see here on the lead, if we go on the leaderboard, um, even though I'm not really progressed so much in the leaderboard right now, and I'm sure I could catch up. On the top 10 overall, I am top 10 in synthesizer, which is a pretty big deal considering how much goodwill and value that I like to provide within this community itself. And in doing so, I'm exposing myself to other people. I'm getting in front of other people. I'm making comments. I'm making posts. I go on. I do outreach in this community. I reach out to people, see what problems I could help, I could solve for other people, and I book calls on this. I go on discovery calls, networking calls, so that I can attract a lot of the people that are fitting for my own community. But also, I'm not there to try to poach. I'm not there to try to take members from Synthesizer into my community. If anything, I want to expand this community by giving more than taking. So I give, give, give. Um, you might you might hear this from homos like jab, 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 right hook or something like that. It's like you want to focus on giving in other communities and engaging with them and aligning yourself with the mission of what the community is about so that you can attract more of the right people because they're going to be curious to see what you have to offer because you're providing so much. So if we look back into the contributions, I made 541 contributions to Synthesizer. I think it's realistically a bit more than that, um, because I don't know if they track all the comments, and I've definitely done more comments than just 541. And if I did just posts, I'd do like 42 contributions. So we could probably think of this as like a 10-to-1 ratio roughly of doing like uh chats versus or like comments versus posts. So I focus a lot of my efforts and my attention on another community outside of my own so that when I provide the value for other communities, they will be curious to see more of what I have to offer. They'll stumble my profile, they'll click on it, and they'll say, "Ooh, mental momentum, feel focused, finish more, scroll less. That's interesting to me. I'll probably join this community because this is exactly what I need." And a lot of the members that I've gotten, Lucas, Joy, Justin, some come from Discovery, like Mark, Mitchell, Lisa, Braden, I think Jason, maybe not. There are a lot of people within this community that have come from the synthesizer group specifically because I was able to provide enough value and goodwill that I exposed myself to these people. So I think this is a great starting point for a lot of people that are already on the platform because they're also familiar with the platform. They don't have to learn so many things about the platform because they're engaged with it already, like synthesizer. So if you wanted to translate this for your own community, say you run a sports community like tennis or something, badminton, maybe something like that. It could be best for you to start going on communities that are at least not. it doesn't have to be the same exact niche, but it can be niche adjacent. Say like if you're running a tennis community, maybe you want to go on a pickleball community or a badminton community because you're sports oriented. You want to share your hobby, share your passion for sports and tennis, and being in these communities, you can find people that are attracted to you, and if you provide the value within those communities, you're going to potentially get people in your community because of the value that you provide. Think of the law of reciprocity, right? If you people people are more inclined to give back if you give first. And like you are more open to receiving if you decide to give first. So that's like one of the biggest things. And also in terms of Skool discovery outside networking, so I touched a lot on networking. So leveraging Skool discovery is a big thing as well. Once your engagement grew to attract new members organically, so a lot of my initial attraction on Skool was from networking, but also I get some people from Skool discovery. So if we go into my discovery here, even though I'm not exactly highly ranked on discovery right now, I'm at rank 1237, and it has been improving because I actually have been getting some engaged members on Skool itself and building that engagement. So my rank has actually improved. It was like 1550 rank or something, so I still actually get people on discovery. And even though I have a low ranking, you can actually rank for certain keywords like SEO. So let's do screen time, for example. So I show up as number 7 in terms of screen time specifically. So yeah, the family screen time challenge, free screen time kickstart, smarter screen time, things like this. So these are validated keywords that you can use, um, and like think of what you can do for your own community, like pickleball. Pickleball is such a pickleball SEO, like that pickleball school, right? Or we play pickleball, the pickleball playbook. Obviously, this is the one that's attracting the most members, and but yeah, think of what keywords you can include within your community. So things on your about page copy, like your copy here or your description over here. These are going to start ranking you for certain keywords, that is going to boost you in discovery. And one thing I think I found this out from Andrew Kirby specifically, who is a community lead for Skool. Um, I think one of the better ways to rank for SEO is actually using lowercase letters or lowercase words to rank. I don't know if uppercase words rank very well in terms of SEO. I could be wrong, but um, it's just a matter of like optimizing for discovery. And obviously, if you have a better engaged community, so if you're not attracting a whole bunch of bots, if you're not doing like uh, low engagement within your members, if you're trying to strive for better quality human engagement within your community, you could start to rank higher in discovery. So that's the process that I'm going through right now to try to improve my own ranking as well. But yeah, so one of the results I did from this is that now my community has reached 170 plus members, mostly from organic Skool activities. So remember the time I talked about spending 8 plus months on threads trying to barely grow my Skool community. There was one post out of the 1,000 plus posts I made on threads that ended up getting 50 plus people. However, it attracted probably 90-95% of unqualified people that were just not interested in involving themselves in the community. So they just joined and ghosted entirely. So I want this to be attracting your first 100 members, engaged members at this point, because if they're already involved in Skool, they're far more likely to be able to start engaging in your own community. based on like if they're really interested in the community itself. And I now attract higher quality, more engaged members from doing this rather than relying on social media algorithms. And I've built yeah, people already on the Skool understand the platform, and the familiarity aspect is a big part of it. So conversion has become a lot easier. So even though I'm not at the stage where I'm getting hundreds and thousands of people coming into my Skool community a day or a week, I'm still attracting more quality members. So that is a uh, big thing about it. And also built strong relationships with people in Skool. So relationships and building connections is the biggest aspect of it, because if you're trying to build a community just as a funnel to try to convert people into like customers and clients, and they could sense that you're trying to monetize or sell people on things, that relationship aspect is going to dwindle, if not completely fall short. And you're not going to build those lasting relationships, because if you're focused on the money, if you're focused on trying to uh, sell people on something that they don't want, especially, then those relationships aren't going to last. So you want to focus on giving and connecting and providing value, even at the expectation of nothing in return. So I do this on Skool because I don't expect anything in return, but in doing so, I still receive more than I think I will. So that growth now compounds naturally and without that social media burnout as well. So if you're trying to focus on so many platforms at once, trying to get on TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, Threads, Instagram, Reddit, and you don't have a proper strategy in place, that's going to burn you out, and not you're going to waste months trying to make content, trying to figure out your messaging, trying to do all of that and not get the traction that you need for your own community. So, the biggest thing I suggest, I highly recommend because I've done it myself and other people have done it before, is is to already be involved in Skool communities, and because the traffic there is already great, tens of millions of people per month, new users are coming into the platform. So you might as well get take advantage of that growing traffic. So yeah, and in conclusion to this, stop relying on external platforms. So I will say this example. So if you've already started to grow your own Instagram or your own TikTok or your own YouTube, or well, YouTube, I guess YouTube isn't really considered social media, but if you already have like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers on social media and it's working, fair enough. Do more of that. Do more of what works for you. But if you are trying to get started on social media and trying to grow your Skool community, I highly suggest to get started on Skool itself, get involved in other communities, make like pretend that you are trying to make a social media post on Skool, and like try to make posts that are aligned within that community itself so that you can start attracting people into your communities the right way. And making comments. Comments are probably the most underrated thing you could do on Skool. Probably better so than making posts. Like I said, that 10-to-1 ratio of trying to do comments versus posts. You want to do more comments and engage with people and build those connections rather than trying to sell your community or sell yourself to other people. So, um, yeah, lead with value in other communities. So give first and people will follow. I promise that. And engagement over the numbers. So you want to focus on depth, and that growth will also follow. So the comments that you make as well, the posts that you make it high quality, not focusing on the quantity of the numbers. Make it high quality posts that people want to engage with, people gain insights from it and get all sorts of value from what you can provide within those communities. So, um, yeah, in conclusion, I also have 5 spots open to work with me one on one to grow your Skool community without the digital burnout. So, if you're someone who's struggling with distractions and consuming from so many things online and it burns you out and you spend hours on in front of your screen, then I want to help you out here. So if you're curious about that, there's a link to apply in the description below. First come, first serve. So there you have it. That is how I built my Skool community to over 100 members, and this is the process that I'm going to stick with for quite a long time. If things start to change, then I'll probably let y'all know. But yeah, that I think that's the best, in my opinion, process to stick with. But yeah, if you like this, uh, um, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.